This is the Champions Hockey League. The Sheffield Steelers are in action for the second year in a row, the first British team to do so. And tonight they take on the Swedes of HV71 from the Kinnarps Arena. This is Group P of the Champions Hockey League 2016-2017 season. My name is Jonathan Fernley, and alongside me is Paul Adey. And Paul, this will be a real test for the Steelers tonight for sure.
Yeah, big test, of course. Anytime you match up against a Swedish Hockey League team, you know you're going to have your hands full. But I like what I've been hearing from the Steelers camp. You know, they want to approach this a bit differently this year. They want to try to get through to the next stage. And I think that's, you know, just going into this kind of tournament as a preparation for your season, I don't think that's the way you should look at it. So I like what I'm hearing from the Steelers.
The Steelers won their 2 warm-up games against the Aalborg Pirates last weekend. HV71 have just had the 1 warm-up game, and they lost that to Vasho. So still early in the season for these two teams, but HV71 have been in their training camp for a lot longer than the Steelers have, and this is how they'll line up tonight.
Well, yeah, HV71, of course, you know, first of all, you look at Chris Abbott with all his experience, a top player for HV71, but their whole lineup is solid. There's no weaknesses in that lineup, and, you know, they have 4 blocks of 5, as we say, and there's no weaknesses there, and it's a big challenge for the Steelers. But, you know, the Steelers are a strong team, you know, the champions from last year, and they have a good 4 units themselves, and you know, a lot of import players, I think up to 14 now, and possibly a 15th that they could play. So, you know, they're a strong team, and I like their chances. I think their chances are probably as good as any team that have been in this competition from the Elite League thus far.
The bookmakers have the Sheffield Steelers as 2,000 to 1 outsiders to win the Champions Hockey League.
Well, 2001, yeah, it might be worth putting a pound down there, but yeah, I think it'd be tough for the Steelers to win the competition. I mean, you know, it seems like the Swedish Hockey League, their teams have been the top teams in the Champions Hockey League since, you know, since the inauguration of the league itself. And, you know, if you look at the Swedish teams, good skating teams, well organized, play well tactically, great shape. So when you come up against them, you have to be well prepared, and you have to be in good shape, because you know they're going to be in good shape.
The lights still out. We're not far away from the opening face-off of this game. Usual pre-match festivities to get out of the way first. There'll be the CHL anthem. We really aren't far away from game time. The other team in this group, remember, Red Bull Salzburg, and the Sheffield Steelers will travel to Austria on Saturday to take on Red Bull. And it's the 3rd season in a row that HV71 and Red Bull have been drawn together. They must be sick of the sight of each other getting into European competition and then still playing the same team. But they've had mixed results, so over the last couple of years they've both beaten each other. So for the Sheffield Steelers, in terms of targeting a game, they may have targeted the Red Bull game, but actually HV71 might be the team that, you know, is looking to be pushed into 2nd place, because it's happened to them before in their first CHL season.
Yeah, and there's no guarantees. I mean, HV71, if you look at their last 6 seasons, for example, they've lost out in the quarterfinal stage of the playoffs every year. So it hasn't been that great for them. I mean, the one season before that they won the championship, but it's a kind of team that when they, you know, when they're having a great season, they seem to dominate and go on and win a championship. But when they're not, they seem to struggle. So these are important games for them, because when they get off to a good start, they normally have a good year, and so they're going to want to do well against the Steelers.
You can already hear the small band of travelling Steelers supporters in good voice, and you know that whatever the scoreline tonight, they're going to be loud and proud throughout. It's now time for the CHL anthem. And we have illumination, and we're not far away from the puck drop in this game. Lots of anticipation, and the referees and linesmen, all Scandinavian.
Yeah, Finnish guys, Norwegian, and a couple of Swedish referees. So, but all very qualified, obviously, to do this game, and it should be a very interesting game. You know, early in the season, it might be a good time to play HV71 if they've only had 1 game. could be a good opportunity here for the Steelers with their goalie, who you know, he's been a very consistent goalie over the years. Mustakov's there, and I think he can be a difference in these games for the Steelers if he plays well and keeps them in these games, especially on the road, keeping the scores low and keeping them in. Even if they came out with a loss of a goal or even two, they still would have an opportunity of qualifying. So I think the key thing for the Steelers is not to, if they do lose a game or two here, not to lose by too many goals.
Goal difference could well be a crucial factor in determining which two teams progress. It will be two teams out of the three in Group P that make it through. We're almost ready for the puck drop. This is Group P of the Champions Hockey League. The Sheffield Steelers in white and orange, HV71 in the navy blue. We are underway here at the Kinnarps Arena. The Steelers dumping the puck in, and first touch for netminder Linus Söderström, only 19 years old. First season with the team. Lane sends it into the zone. He gets deflected back to the Steelers. They can't get the puck out. The first shot comes through. There's traffic in front. Mustakovs is down, and the shot on the backhand goes just wide. Armfist. Patient from HV71. They're not going to force anything in these early stages. They'll take their time. Certainly not going to be too worried if things don't go well for them early. They know from the Sheffield Steelers in previous seasons how the Steelers were beaten late in games. The two road games they played in the Champions League, they were just down by 2 goals after 2 periods. In the 2 home games, they were level after 2 periods. So they'll certainly be playing a patient game tonight, HV71. Don't need to stress if things don't go well for them early. The Steelers have really stressed the importance of getting off to a good start tonight. Chased back into his own zone by Hansen. Switched across to Borkman. Steelers trying to be physical. Dowd doing good work. Steelers have forced the puck into the zone. Valdix with the first shooting chance. And it gets deflected up and out of play.
Well, HV71 started quite aggressively in the neutral zone. 1-2-2 trap, taking the middle away. 3 guys pressuring the puck quite aggressively. And you can see they want to try to jump on the Steelers early and create a couple of goals and to try to dent the Steelers' confidence early in this one. But the Steelers have a lot of experience in their lineup. Matter of fact, their average age, I think, is around 28 compared to HV71, which I think is 25. So they do have maybe a little bit more experience in terms of age, but in terms of games, HV71, I mean, they got a load of players who've played in that Swedish Hockey League for many years.
Here's Tedenby. Shoulder to shoulder with Fitzgerald. Still on the stick of Tedenby. Franson trying to be a nuisance. Long shot goes wide from Persson. Never really threatened the goal. Kept in on the far side. This is a shooting chance, and there's the first glove save.
Well, it's a good save there. A little test for him. Steelers did a good job, you know, controlling the front of the net, not letting traffic get in front there. And although it's a quick shot, you can see the goalie's not screened, and Franzen did the right thing. He didn't step in front of the goalie's line of sight, and did a good job allowing his goalie to see that puck.
Steelers will chip and chase. The puck deep into the zone, but they're going to call icing on that play. They'll bring the Steelers all the way back into their own zone.
Well, you can see the Steelers are playing smart. They're not taking any chances at the blue line, the offensive blue line. They're dumping pucks in rather than making mistakes and giving up the puck to HV71, where they can come back quickly on the transition and catch the Steelers out. So right now you can see part of the game plan is if you don't have anything, get it deep to the corners. Unfortunately, you know, they got an icing on that one, but smart little plays make the difference in these games.
Boat check making life difficult for the Steelers as they try and break out. Paul Thompson really has placed high priority on getting defensemen who can play a good first pass and get the forwards involved early. Steelers don't want to get trapped in their own zone for long periods tonight, that is for sure. Long pass forward. Swedes beat the offside, but couldn't take the puck with them. Aberdeen on the forecheck, putting the pressure on Waugh. He's got to be careful here, needs to play a pass out and does so. It's Fretter who tips it on. Grabbed in by Borgman. Here's Abbott. Sent all the way around to the far side. Thornburg. He'll just lose out. First hit against the boards. Officials happy to let it go. Borgman. Lovely switch across, and he just lost the handle on it slightly. It was Torngren coming in on that far side. Centering pass is intercepted. And now here's Dowd. Nelson ahead of him will chase. And clatter Person into the boards. Person goes down. Steelers are going to be physical on the forecheck tonight. And it could be a 3-on-2 coming the other way. Here's opportunities for HV71. Mustakovs make the save, and he had a nervous look behind him, but he got it trapped. Yeah,
he wasn't sure where that puck was. You're right, absolutely right. Looked behind, but luckily it stayed inside his equipment there. But what happened, you know, you talk about aggressive forechecking from the Steelers. I think it was Nelson went in, threw some big hits, and then the Steelers got caught in the 3-on-2, which is why HV71 got that shot and forced a save from the Sheffield goalie, and that was a bit of a hit from behind there on Phillips, holding his face. But the Steelers are going to have to be careful against the HV71's set breakout. Straight away on their first breakout, they stretched two guys behind the Steelers' defense and almost caught them out. The pass wasn't there, but had the pass been on the money, it would have been a 2-on-1 for HV71. So the Steelers are going to have to be careful defensively against their breakout.
Another save. Confident start so far from Mustakovs. He's had 3 to save, and he's dealt with them all without a rebound.
Well, I think it's important in the first period that he makes some good saves for the Steelers just to keep them in this one. You could see early on in the game, HV71 are just a little bit quicker than the Steelers. The Steelers are having a little bit of trouble getting those legs going at the moment, but that will come with with minutes of this game during the early parts of this period.
2 on-ice practice sessions for the Steelers yesterday. An optional skate this morning, which half of the squad took up the opportunity for, and others chose instead just to have a stretch or a massage. Different players choosing to get themselves ready for this big game in different ways. Franson. Icing will be waved off on this one. Mosienko's in on the chase. And a long wrist shot is comfortably saved.
Well, if you're going to take those shots on Mustakovs, he's just going to build up his confidence, taking wrist shots from the blue line. You know, weak wrist shots, and it's making it easy for him at the moment. He's gaining confidence with every save. The Steelers are doing a good job holding up that blue. They're not backing in too much, because I think once they do that, they're going to find themselves in trouble. So it's important for the Sheffield Steelers to stay up on the play, and play it tight in the middle, force the shots from outside of the dots, and clean up those rebounds and help their goalie out on any rebounds.
Another face-off win from HV71. Another slap shot. Save made. The puck was behind Mustakovs, and the Steelers chased back and got it away. It was O'Connor that cleared it out of the crease. Nervous moments for the Steelers. The first real one of this game. Nielsen. For Saric, who picks it up.
Well, O'Connor made a couple of good plays there. First of all, helping his goalie out on the rebound, and secondly, intercepting that pass coming across, because otherwise it was a free shot in front of his goalie's net there.
Here's Abbott. Trying to stick handle his way through. Can't make it work on this occasion. Fretter. Steelers happy to go back and just keep a little bit of puck possession. Now they'll switch it forward. Fretter. Cross corner looking for Waugh. Armstrong. Waugh just skated past it. Armstrong's recovered it. Will be fairly pleased with the opening 6 minutes of this game. Haven't really been able to generate a scoring chance as yet, but it's not been all HV71 in terms of desperation for the Steelers. They haven't been camped in the zone necessarily, and the ones that Mustakovs has had to save have been similar to that one, fairly comfortable.
Well, that's the key.
Whistle and first power break.
Well, you're absolutely right. That's the key for here's a replay here, just a quick shot off the face-off, and a great job from O'Connor spotting that, trickling in behind his goalie and clearing that. And You know, like you said, it's a good start for the Steelers. You know, they haven't given up an early goal, and they're playing pretty solid. They're forcing the shots from the outside. No real great chances for HV71. So all in all, a good start for the Steelers.
So these power breaks last for 70 seconds. We have 2 in each period. And the Steelers will be happy to take as many whistles and as many stoppages as they can. Still early in the season, the fitness levels might not be up to the levels of their opponents. So anytime you can get a whistle and a short break, that's going to help.
Well, the key thing also for the Steelers is if you know you're playing against an opponent who's supposed to be better than you, you want to always be short and hard. You want to be fresh. You don't want to get caught tired on the ice. That's when these Swedish teams beat you. When they get you in your end of the ice and you're tired, you're exhausted, and you lose your coverage, and they got the skill and the speed to and the finish to score goals. So a big key for the Steelers, you know, making sure they play well as a team on their changes. Again, that was the closest opportunity in the game so far, but O'Connor read that and cleared it. And I was talking about how important that's going to be, you know, for the defense, especially defense of the Steelers, helping out their goalie.
That one got a little tip. It was redirected upwards into the chest of Mustakov's. Again, it's another face-off win for HV71 that's creating these initial scoring chances.
Yeah, they haven't created a lot of traffic in front of the net, though. The shots are coming in, but so far the Steelers are doing a good job off those face-offs, not allowing guys to get in front of their goalie.
Armfist switches it back across to Reese. That shot gets deflected, does stay in play. O'Connor's got to work with it in the corner. Come back to the blue line. HV will send it straight back in deep. Steelers trying to win it away from Torngren and Lane. Now the Steelers forecheckers will close in. It's a simple pass out, and it could be another 3-on-2 building. And it was skates in the way from Franson and Fitzgerald. Between them, they wouldn't let the pass get across. Still defensive work for them to do. Anderson and Dowd going at it. And that puck is deflected up into the Steelers bench, and we'll get another whistle.
Again, we see in the neutral zone where HV71 are trying to get to 3 guys behind the Sheffield's 3 forwards, trying to create a 3-on-2 with that one pass in the neutral zone. And they've had some success of getting that pass through. Just in the previous shift, they got the 3 guys behind and created a quick 3-on-2. Credit to the Sheffield defense. They've done a really good job not panicking and just slowly backing in and forcing the shots from the outside.
Here's Tadenby. Strong shot comes in from Sederholm. And again, we're getting a little bit of pushing and shoving. Saw a little bit with Fitzgerald after the last whistle, and again, he's front and center.
Well, he's obviously trying to maybe intimidate the opposition a little bit. He's got to be careful because he'll get called if he goes a bit too far. You see on that play how the defenseman, he's on the blue line, he's on the boards, and he reads the play well. He sees his forward coming up the wall. He moves across his blue line to create that passing lane, and he gets a free shot because of it. And as a forward, you have to be aware of the movement of your defenseman at all times.
It's a good spell from HV71. The Steelers just can't buy it out at the moment. Another shooting chance. This one whistles just wide of the glove side. Relentless forechecking and hard work on the boards from HV71. Making life very difficult for the Steelers right now. Davien will get to this one. He's under all sorts of pressure in that corner. Schultz was trying to provide a little bit of support. Davien still pressing in hard, trying to lay down the hit on Borgman. There's Nielsen digging in. And O'Connor. Not too much ambition for the Steelers. They're just happy to get it in deep. They certainly don't want any defensemen caught out of position. There's a turnover, sent towards goal, and it got a tip. And that's the first save from Soderstrom, and it was a good one. And it needed to be.
Well, a good job on the forecheck from the Steelers. Getting in there and putting their, testing HV71's defense. And that was a bad play, backhand pass through the middle of the ice in your defensive zone. I mean, that's a terrible play, and it almost cost them a goal against. A very good save you know, from the goalie there. Just I think it's the first shot he's had so far. I mean, first real scoring opportunity against them anyways. And but that came from some good forecheck from the Steelers.
Our Steelers' fourth line impressed in pre-season. They generated the first scoring chance there. The redirect from Ferrara. Now back into the defensive zone. That shot was nearer the corner than the crease. It's come all the way around the boards and back into HV's zone. Again, the Steelers have turned it over. Chance for a spinning shot, perhaps there is. There's a kick save and there's a penalty coming in here. The Sheffield Steelers are going to go on the power play. There was a holding call in there. I think it was Valdix who got grabbed. What an opportunity coming up for the Steelers now. The whistle will go as the puck is touched by Berglund. And you can hear the reaction from the Steelers crowd.
Well, again, it came from the forecheck, from the Steelers forwards, just finishing their checks off, putting the like, and they're panicking a little bit, and then all of a sudden you get some from that speed of forecheck. If you get puck, you know, moving with a lot of speed, and then you create some opportunities. You can see that's a good spin around move and a shot, and that the rebound comes out and forces Berglund, number 2 there, to hang on to Nilsson and take the penalty. So big opportunity here for the Steelers, who picked their game up a little bit in the last couple of shifts.
Sheffield Steelers have done a lot of work on special teams in the last couple of training sessions. No surprise they've sent the top unit out there straight away. So it's Berglund in the box. Sheffield Steelers on a 5-on-4. Armstrong couldn't quite get enough of that as he tried to play it down the boards. Armstrong sends it rink wide. An opportunity for Sederholm. Can't get it down the boards. The Steelers will try and kick it and keep it in, and they do keep it in the zone. Battling hard again is Armstrong. Now the Steelers can get it set up. Shot, oh, it's fired straight into the body of Waugh. It was a long way off target from Bjorklund. Wasn't going to threaten the goal at all. But often those pokes can drop into very dangerous areas.
Well, especially with Waugh in front. I mean, that's his favorite spot, camped out in front of the net, picking up those rebounds. And it didn't land for him there, didn't drop in front of him. But, you know, if he keeps getting to the front of the net and putting the goalie, you know, taking the goalie's eyes away, who knows, and create a goal for him.
Mustakos has to make the save up high. There's Bengtson moving in, trying to score one short-handed. Look at this stick handling from Valdix, gone all the way through. Taking the direct route to goal, and it very nearly worked. Ratchuk. Dowd. Steelers' second power play unit out. Brister towards goal, and this one is saved and held by Söderström.
Well, nice little wrist shot to the net there with traffic in front, and you know, the Steelers are trying to get guys in front. I mean, on the power play, it's not always a big slap shot. Sometimes just a nice simple wrist shot is works, and you can see Valdix there, a lot of speed coming through the middle, trying to break through the defense, and skating well out there, trying to make things happen for his team.
Still a little bit of power play time for the Steelers to work with. Although Tyler Mosienko isn't going to be allowed to take this draw. It'll be Desbiens going up against Abbott. Steelers keep it in the zone. Can they work something as this power play ticks down? Desbiens and Mosienko digging at it. The puck comes towards the goal, and it's Abbott who's there to collect. We are back to 5-on-5. The puck is back with Abbott. Off the boards and out. And now Desbiens. Slap shot from the angle, kicked away. Puck picked up by Persson. Now Armqvist. Carrying it a long way with speed. Looking for the centering pass. The puck still sits loose. A lot of sticks going jabbing at it. It's the Steelers who force it to the corner. Fitzgerald whips it straight around and out of the zone. This is going to cost the Steelers an icing call. And indeed it does.
Yeah, a little bit too much on that rim around the boards from Fitzgerald. Yeah, it was tough for his winger to get to the boards in time to get that one. But I mean, what's impressed me so far in the game, Mustakov's, I must admit, he looks very relaxed in the net. He just seems so calm. And I mean, the same thing for Soderstrom for the HV71. It's a sign of good goaltending, I find, when the goalie just they look so confident in their positioning. And both these goalies look real solid to me.
Makes the save down low, block aside. HV71 trying to generate the puck into a scoring area from the board. It's all very tight over there. Phillips. He's the Steelers' top scorer in the Champions League last year, hence he's got the top scorer shirt on. Nice honour to have, but can be a little bit of a target. Sent across and it got the tip, but they didn't get the redirect on target. They waited and waited until the time was right for the pass, but couldn't test Mustakov's on this occasion. And again, the blue shirts come streaming forward, but Mustakov's will make the stop, and we'll have another power break.
Again, just a shot from the outside. He's not going to trouble Mustakov's with those shots. I mean, again, good job from the Steelers defensively, and Mustakov's also not giving up any second opportunities, holding on to those rebounds and making it really tough on the Swedish forwards there. We're forechecking harder. They're going for the rebounds, but there's none there, and they have a lot of speed. If you look at the Swedish forwards, they are just loaded with speed. But so far, that speed hasn't really paid off for them because of the great job defensively that the Steelers are doing. Especially their defense have been very impressive in the first period here.
Animated discussion between Paul Thompson and his team.
Well, you always want your coach in the game, you know, and you want to hear from him. You don't want him to be quiet for 20 minutes, that's for sure. And Paul, he'll have his say, that's for sure. When he has got something on his mind, he'll let his players know. There's no doubt about that. And but the Steelers, like I said, are a good start. A good start here in the first period. They look solid. They're doing the right things defensively, very sound. And there's no panic in their game. I like what I see.
And discipline so far has been good. The only penalty of the game has gone the way of HV71. The Steelers have kept all 5 out on the ice. Puck still sits in the face-off circle, and the Steelers are able to get this one away. Fretter will go chasing, and we'll have a whistle.
Yeah, was that an icing call they called there? Or seemed a bit seemed like he was over the red line, but I think I don't know if we'll get a replay on that one, but face-offs coming all the way down to the back into the Steelers zone there. I mean, these are big face-offs right now because you don't want to give up a face-off goal in the first period.
Armstrong will not be allowed to take this one. It's a good win from Watt. And now Fretter will look for that outlet pass. He'll go up the near side boards. Armstrong and Watt are in on the forecheck. It's good skating by Borgman, shielding the puck well, and look at this, carrying it all the way. Now turning away from Fretter, whips it across, but there's no opportunity for the shot straight away. They'll bring it back, and that's a big block made, paying the price in front. Watt is down. He's back up now, but he's not looking too comfortable. He'll get his stick to this one, but it might cost an icing, and Matthew Watt really needs to get off the ice, so that's the last thing he needs.
Well, I think he was just trying to get back to the bench and maybe, let the pain go away a little bit there. I mean, I think if he leaves the ice to go to the room because he's injured, then there's no call. He's allowed to do that, but you can see there, I mean, he blocks so many shots. I mean, he's always in the net, in front of the net, getting hit from the puck, but he's also blocks a lot of shots. In games in the league, you've seen him killing penalties, blocking shots. He does those, makes those big plays for his team. He's just one of the leaders on the Steelers team.
Well, Matthew Watt has been allowed to go off the ice. Levi Nelson has come on. O'Connor plays that one out. via a deflection, so no penalty.
Steelers can make a change now and get some fresh guys out there in the ice. You know, these games I was talking about the little things, and face-offs are you would say a little thing, but they're a big thing, because one face-off goal can be the difference in a game. You know, you talk about goaltending being a big key in a game, but you have to protect your goalie, and especially on those defensive zone face-offs. You don't want to give up any quick one-time shots.
Franson living dangerously behind his own goal. Eventually banks it out. It's going to be the cost of another icing.
Well, there's nothing wrong with icing the puck. I mean, you want to make the safe play first and foremost. And if you have to give up a face-off, you give up the face-off. And it's breaking the rhythm of HV71. They're not happy about it. You can see they want to get the puck and they want to skate and use all their speed. And I think this is actually playing into the Steelers' hands. It's not hurting them, as long as they can keep winning the face-offs.
Particularly after a short shift for 60 seconds or more. When it's just been a few seconds, there's no fatigue factor as such. Valdix who emerges with this one from the crowd. The Steelers will enter the zone on the far side. Little pass backwards, and they were trying to turn it goalwards. It was Nelson who had the puck underneath his skates for a moment. HV71 avoid the offside. They can't do much with that little piece of zone time. Franson makes sure he gains the red line before sending this one deep and going to the bench for a change. This one's tipped up in the air. Will land by Schultz. He's dispossessed by Abbott. Very happy to do that. One of the more active goaltenders around. Lane winds up and blasts. And straight into that big Steelers logo on the front of Irvin Mustakov's shirt.
Yeah, I mean, Lane had all the time in the world to get that shot on net, and but Mustakovs didn't panic. I mean, that's coming from the top of the circle, still a ways out there, but good positioning from the goalie, comes out, takes the angle away. And again, you know, those shots from the outside for a top goalie like Mustakovs, they're easy saves for him.
That shot deflects to the corner. HV get it back. Still with Lane, only as far as Debian. Steelers sent something here. They've sent 4 into the zone. They've turned the puck over and taken away. Now HV71 will try and counter, but can't gain the blue line at the first time of asking. Neither can the Steelers in response. Mustakovs will glove it, and again the Steelers happy to take a whistle.
Oh, smart goaltending from Mustakovs. He's just hanging on to those. He knows every time he gets a face-off, it gives his coach an opportunity to get the fresh legs out there, and that's what you want in your defensive zone. You want to keep getting guys on the ice who are fresh and who can do a job for you. And Mustakovs has a lot of experience. He knows when to play the puck and when to hang on to it. And so far in the first period, he's done the right things with it.
Holmqvist runs around to the side. B17 trying to move towards the net. They bang one in the back of Mutkov, so he's too smart for one. They do have a pen coming in when he got a slack call.
Yeah, I think one of the Steelers, it looks like a Ratchuk there. He's picked up a slash call, and 3:57 left in the first period here. You don't want to give up a power play goal here. There's a slash there. You can see it was an obvious one, and you don't get away with those in this competition, whacking guys up high like that, especially on the hands. And I think he tried to get away with one there and got caught. Well, he did get caught because he's got 2 minutes.
It's a 5+ game, and just the 2 minutes on this occasion, and the chance for the HV71 power play go to work. It's his hands allowed to get in. He was shooting for that top corner, and it was just a little piece of Stokov's shoulder. Pace just slows down. Waiting for the right pass, and they try the little one-timer coming in from that face-off circle. Doesn't quite work out for them. Shot loose to the side of the net, and it's slammed home. It's Tadenby with the power play goal that gives aid.
Well, they got the bounce there because the shot came in, I believe, from Franson to start with, and the puck bounced off one of the Steelers players right over across in the front of the net, and then obviously a quick shot. It was in the back of the net. if you watch here, I think, sorry, I'll take that back. It wasn't Franson who took that shot. It was someone else, but the puck just goes to Tenderby there, straight to him, and just has the whole net to shoot at. It was a bit unfortunate bounce for the Steelers on that one. But it goes back to the penalty also from Ratchuk. It's not a good penalty to take, and I'm sure he's not happy with himself for taking that one. I think he was just trying to whack the guy to disrupt the play, disrupt his pass. But as soon as you catch a guy in the hands or on the stick, HL in the Champions Hockey League competition, the referees they call all those little slashes, and you just can't take a chance on plays like that.
HV71 looking for another. There might be a shooting chance here. Instead, they try and flip it to the corner. Steelers could really do with the end of the period right now. They'd hate for all the good work that they've done to be undone in the space of 3 minutes at the end of this first session. Björklund. Taken in by Armstrong. Armstrong goes for the shot. It takes a deflection off the stick of Persson and goes out of play.
No, I think you said it earlier in the period, or just before the period, what it is, and whenever you're playing in a competition where you don't have a lot of games, you can't afford to take a lot of bad penalties, and you can see that Tenderby there. He just got the puck just came right to him. He was in the right place at the right time. Quick shot into the empty net. Mustakov's had no chance, and it seemed like that was the only way that he was going to be beat in the first period, was from a shot like that, because he's been very, very good for the Steelers in the first period. Mustakov has.
Tenderby was a 10 NHL goals in his time. Certainly wasn't a pass-up opportunity like one. Dowd goes sister, block save. Look here on the near side. Steelers have plenty of them the player. And takes a tumble. Oh, and hit against board. That's going to be a penalty against Borgman.
Well, that's definitely a penalty whenever you just, even if you just slightly hit a guy from goes into the boards like that, it's going to be called. And it wasn't a big hit or anything. He just kind of gave him a little bit of a push. Borgman did on the Steelers forward there, and it's a 2-minute penalty. I mean, Dowd there trying to make a play down low, and you can see Borgman comes in and just gives a little shot to the back there, and that's enough for a penalty. And when you see the guy's numbers, you got to lay up. I mean, that's your coaches always tell their players, don't follow through on a hit if the guy, because even if the guy positions himself that way at the last second, you gotta lay up, or it's a penalty against you. And there's a big opportunity for the Steelers to get that one back from a few minutes ago.
What a boost it would be to them if they were able to do that. It's the second power play unit out at the moment. Masienko finishes his check. Power play will run into the second period if the Steelers aren't able to take advantage here late in the first. And we've got another penalty behind the play. We've got an interference call.
Yeah, I think along the blue line there was some contact there, and Desbian was a stretch guy, and he came across and ran into the HV71 defenseman, defenseman backing up there, and that's interference. I mean, it's not the best call by the referee. The guy kind of backed into him there, but when you're on the power play, you got to avoid contact in that situation and not give the referee an opportunity to even things up.
So we're skating 4-on-4 here as we come up to the final minute of play in the first period. Match day 1 of Group P in the Champions Hockey League. Considerate plan on the breakout. Long shot deflects to the corner. It was Britton that hit it. And again, we'll get another stoppage over by the player benches.
Well, I mean, overall, still a good first period for the Steelers. They obviously don't want to give up another one here in the late stages, but it's a good start. I mean, they'll go back into the changing room and be happy with that first period. Unfortunately, they gave up one, but they're in this game, and HV71 haven't been overly impressive. Yeah, they have some speed up front, and they're a decent team, but I think the Steelers can compete with them and still get a result in this game.
Yet another face-off that Armstrong's not going to be allowed to take.
Well, sometimes what you do is you send if a guy's struggling on face-offs, he'll go in aggressively, try to use the physical side. If he gets thrown out, it's no big deal. You put someone in who's doing a little bit better on face-off. So that could be a little tactical plan at the moment from them.
Chance perhaps for one last opportunity for the Steelers. Rough and tumble in the corner. 3 bodies on the ice. And here's Tadenby, the goal scorer. Drops it off, trying to get it back. Moved on for Hansen. He's tied up, and the final seconds tick away. And at the end of the first period, it is HV71 who lead by a solitary power play goal from that man, Matthias Tadenby.
Yeah, it was an easy finish for him, really. The puck came across. He had half to net to shoot at, and he did a good job finishing it off. But overall, the Steelers will be happy with that first period on the road. Didn't give up a lot of quality scoring opportunities. Defensive played well. Their goalie, Mustakovs, looks very, very solid, very relaxed in there. So they'll be happy with that first period.
Sheffield Steelers have been very happy with the facilities and the treatment that they've received from their Swedish hosts. It's been a very enjoyable trip so far. And they've given themselves a chance in this game. They are a goal behind, but like a lot of the Champions League games last season, the Steelers starting well. And it wasn't really until the third period when tiredness kicked in, but this season with the Steelers being able to run 4 lines, and they have used 4 lines throughout this game, the hope is that that'll be less of an issue this time around.
Well, that's a big key. And I think, and I said it a couple of years ago when I was doing the show on Knots TV with Chris Ellis. I said that the Elite League needed to go to four lines if we wanted to improve our hockey and in general. We needed to start focusing more on having more players on our teams and using more players than just using three lines. And I think the coaches have realized now that if we're going to compete in these kind of competitions, you can't survive with just 3 lines. It's just these other teams will wear you down if they're playing 4 lines against 3. So for sure, you need to have 4 lines that can play in this competition. Otherwise, you have no chance.
Both sides tonight are running with the same roster split, 7D and 13 forwards. We haven't seen anything of the 13th forward for HV71, Filip Lestan, the Slovakian. So both teams running the benches in similar ways. HV71 did play a pre-season game against Vaxco back on Friday. They have changed the line slightly since then. Actually not too happy with the way things worked out. They lost that game 3-1. Steelers were more comfortable victors in their pre-season games. And Paul Thompson happy to roll with the same units. We will start the period 4-on-4. The first out of the box will be Borgman for HV71. And then 30 seconds later, it'll be Debian for the Steelers. So 4-on-4 hockey as we're back underway. Group P of the Champions Hockey League 2016-17. Offside.
Yeah, a couple of feet offside. That was pretty obvious. And again, HV71, they like to come from behind with lots of speed and attack the blue line full steam ahead. And but overall, the Steelers have done a good job. And the key against a team that comes at you with so much speed is to protect the middle of the ice and just force them to go wide with their speed. Let them have the shots from the outside and take care of the middle of the ice. And in this game, the Steelers have done a really good job with that.
So the penalty has ended on Borgman. He's back out. He's gone straight across to the bench as Mustakov's made the save and then falls forward to cover up.
Yeah, another easy save for him. I mean, he's got good size. He covers a lot of the net, and he's going to make those saves from outside the top of the circles or from the outside. And he does manage the puck well. He doesn't give up a lot of rebounds, and his puck control is very good. And he knows when to move it and when to hang on to it. In this game, he's just hung on to it every time, and smartly so. I think he wants to make sure that his team doesn't get caught on long shifts in his end of the ice. So his management of the game is very, very good.
Steelers win the draw and get the puck clear. And precious seconds will tick away on Debien's penalty. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey very shortly. And another offside, which helps the Steelers out immensely.
Yeah, Steelers keeping it simple on their PK, playing a 1-3, and just, you know, backing up and, again, not forcing the play too much, playing it smart, really forcing HV71 to make the plays. And actually it's working right now because HV71 are trying to do too much on their own. And, you know, because they're the favorites in this game, they're trying to maybe try to, like I'm saying, trying to do too much. And that's when it helps the Steelers, when they try to, you know, beat guys too much one-on-one, and it's playing into the Steelers' game plan.
Hansen across to Borgman. Got the boards on this near side. Schultz doing good defensive work. Haven't seen a lot of him in an offensive sense so far in this game. Debien trying to work his way down the boards, and his route was blocked. Sandberg, good hands. Still with Sandberg, and then fanned on the pass attempt. Steelers very nearly getting in each other's way there. Bounce pass off the boards. Doesn't quite go astray. The Steelers have been able to keep on to this one. But now a turnover, and this could be an opportunity moving in, and the shot goes just wide. It was Anderson who took it, and he didn't test Mustakov's.
Well, Mustakov's did a good job because he came out a long ways and forced that shot wide. Again, good goaltending from him. You know, you can see here that's the Steelers. It's that, you know, quick transition there. Looks like Anderson came off there, maybe on a change, and takes a quick shot. But it's the positioning of Mustakov's who forces that shot wide, and does a great job there again.
Long shot through traffic, and Mustakov saves and holds.
Well, he's doing a great job for the Steelers. He's really keeping them in this game, and which is really important. You need good goaltending in this competition, especially on the road, because you know teams are going to come at you pretty hard, especially in that first half of the game, and try to find a way to bury you early and win the game early. And Mustakov's has done his work so far for the Steelers.
Franson. Backhanded up the boards. Are we going to get another whistle? Not this time. It's waved off. Puck hits a skate, and it works out well for the Steelers. Nielsen tries to backhand it across. There might have been a chance to turn one towards goal. It was Ferrara who was digging after it. He's got himself into a couple of good positions tonight. Anderson checked off the puck and delayed offside. Long pass mishandled by Phillips. The Steelers will go to the bench for a change. Pass was fired across behind its target by Torngren. And again, the Steelers happy to flip it down. Just enough height on that one to avoid another icing call. And again, the forecheckers force the misplaced outlet pass. Fretta. Trailing the play, this is Wire, pokes it towards goal, and it's shammed in. The Steelers have scored through Armstrong.
I mean, that should be a good goal. Or I think they're going to look at this and verify it to see if it was a good goal or not. I mean, really nice play from the Steelers. What they did is that, you know, since the start of this period, they've been stretching a little bit in the neutral zone, trying to get behind HV71 and create some good offensive transition. HV71 are playing three forwards aggressively in the neutral zone up high, and the Steelers took advantage of that there. Rebound comes up. I think it'll be called back. They're probably going to say that the Sheffield forward going into the net here, is that Watt going? He's normally going into the net at most times in the game, driving hard to the net. He was taken down though, but he does kind of keep his legs in there and give a bit of a shot to the goalie. So It'll be interesting to see how the referee sees it. You could see leaves his legs. Well, it's pretty hard for him to get out of the way. He was tripped down, so I think they're going to call it a goal, which is a big goal for the Steelers there. But that was just great transition from the Steelers in the neutral zone, and which creates and some nice quick little passes, 1-2-3 passing, offensive triangle there, and just making some nice plays, and a really big goal for the Steelers that will give them a lot of confidence. And you just felt that a goal was coming for the Steelers at some point, because they've been hanging around in this game, playing a good solid game, and at some point they were going to get some opportunities. And you know, I mean, the goalie Soderstrom hasn't had a lot of shots. He might be a little bit cold in that net, but that doesn't matter to the Steelers. I mean, the key thing for them is to get a couple of good scoring opportunities and bang a few in the back of the net.
So it will be John Armstrong's goal. The Steelers are seeking another. Puck in the offensive zone. Schultz drops it off. Shooting chance. Oh, and the stick snapped on Debian. They're still jamming at it. It's top of the crease, and the Steelers trying to make chaos in front of that cage. And having their best spell of the game. We don't have too many men here, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an opportunity here on the power play for the Steelers. I think HV71 are panicking a little bit here. That's a big goal from the Steelers. 1-1 game. I think they're starting to feel the pressure. And, you know, when you score a goal, you can see it. All of a sudden, it just lifted the Steelers. They seem to be a little quicker on the ice. You know, it makes you feel good. And right now, the HV71, they're all talking about it. They're not quite sure who was on the ice and shouldn't have been on the ice, but it's clear they have 6 guys on the ice. The guy's still not off the ice, and he's skated with it for about 3 strides. So there's no use arguing with the referee about that one. It's too many men on the ice, and a big opportunity for the Steelers here to get a second one.
It was Tadenby who stepped onto the ice as Lane was still climbing over the boards. Just needs to be a little more heads up and realize that the man you're replacing hasn't got off yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad play from him to play that puck. And, yeah, he left way too early on that one. I mean, the guy leaving the ice is responsible also, because he stopped skating about, you know, 5 meters from his bench. And the rule is skate hard till you get to the bench. And sometimes if you float and just guide to the bench, that's, you know, the problem is this is what happens. You get a penalty for too many men in the ice because you didn't finish off skating hard to the bench, and that's why the Steelers run a power play here. It's just a bad change.
Steelers' 3rd power play of the game. 0 for 2 so far, although the second one of those was cut short when Debian took a penalty whilst the Steelers were up a man. They've got the play set up here. Can they create the quality scoring chance? Ratchuk. Valdix. Steelers being patient. Dowd sent towards goal, gloved out of the air. The puck sitting in a dangerous area, and the Steelers will keep it in the zone. Ratchuk across to the far side, and this one is cleared away by HV71, and they'll be able to get a line change. Difficult to do in the second period. It's a long way to the bench, and that's a stumble from Franson. That could be costly. There's an opportunity here, and Mustakovs makes the save to deny Reese.
Yeah, Mustakovs comes to the rescue there, and you're absolutely right. It was a giveaway from the Steelers on their power play. Unfortunately, one of their defensemen there falls over, but Mustakovs, he's been solid the whole game, and it's going to take a really good shot to beat him. And Armstrong finishing off the play on Reese, who wasn't very happy about that, looking for a power play. But you know, you want your defenseman to protect the goalie and finish off their play. Just got to be a little bit careful when you throw a guy into the net or into the boards there. You could get yourself a silly penalty that you don't need.
It was Franson who lost his edge going behind his own goal. The disaster averted for the Steelers. And they're still on the power play. We've got the net replaced. And we can get this game back underway. Tied at 1 in the second period. And again, it's Wahoo pays the price with the block. Again, aggressive on the forecheck, but that puck has deflected up.
I don't know how many bruises Waugh must have every season, but I tell you, he blocks a lot of shots. I mean, he just, it's that leadership, you know, and when you got one of your goal scorers blocking shots like that, it makes everybody accountable when they're out there on the ice. Just a big leader for the Steelers and one of the top players in the Elite League.
Still power play time for the Steelers. We apologize for the loss of the scoreboard from your screen. Be back now, there we go. Final 30 seconds for the Steelers to work with. Shot goes into the crowd and wide, picked up by Björklund. Dug out of the corner by Borgman. Steelers keep it in the zone. Fretter winds and fires and straight in. A couple of HV71 players sing out to get bodies in the way at one. And another clearance will send Steelers all the way back into their own zone.
I think they've realized they're in a game here and they better block some shots and pick up their game, because the Steelers have gained a lot of confidence in the last 5 minutes.
Mosienko cut off. Steelers still keeping the puck in the zone. It was tipped towards goal. Inventive play by Mosienko from an awkward position. Steelers gained the zone, but Schultz lost it as he spun around. And a big hit coming in from Fitzgerald. HV71 supporters still trying to get behind their side. They realise they need a little bit of something. Barreling all the way through, and Mustakovs has made the save. It was Britton that went the direct route to goal. And the Steelers will give up an icing, but it was nearly so much worse.
Well, I mean, they were backing up, you know, trying to keep things tight defensively, but if you're going to sit back, you got to keep your feet moving and just get caught out from the speed of HV71's forwards coming at them 100 miles an hour there. And good job, though, good recovery from the Steelers, helping out, taking away the middle, doing whatever they need to do to clear those pucks from the front of the net.
Steelers in the offensive zone, but not for long. Switched across, and that's going to be offside. And again, is it just early season rustiness as we get another power break here?
It is a little bit, you know, a bit of rustiness, as you say, but they're also under pressure right now because the Steelers are playing a good game and the expectations are high for HV71. They're favorites to win this game. You can see their coach isn't that happy with the way his team is playing. You know, he's probably saying to them, listen, we're not focused here. We're not concentrating. We keep going offside, and we're really not playing our best hockey here. But credit to the Steelers because they're playing a smart hockey game. They're not, you know, forcing the play too much. They're waiting for HV71 to make the mistakes, like going offside, like coughing up pucks in their defensive zone. And they're making it tough on HV71. Overall, you know, thus far, the Steelers are playing well, playing solid, playing good defensively, and just waiting for their opportunities, and that's all they have to do. They don't have to chase this game in any way.
So 5-on-5 as we get back underway here in the second period in Jonkoping. Just waiting for the 70 seconds of the power break to fully elapse. And the Steelers win the draw. And will try and break out with Saric. Such an important part he played on that equalising goal, the feed to Waugh. And his shot that brought the rebound that Armstrong was able to slam in. I think it'll be going down as a delayed penalty goal. We're still waiting on official confirmation of that. Nelson with the touch out. Valdix. Across to the far side. Nelson. O'Connor backhand shot and got a little piece of Söderström. Down, Valdix. Protects the puck so well, he's got 2 for company. Gets it back to Dow. The shot comes in, it was looking for a redirect from Nelson and he didn't make any contact. Steelers will turn and head for a change. Again, just crowded out. It was Bengtson who wasn't given any room. And now here's Armstrong. He's already scored 1. The puck was just knocked off his stick as he was trying to get a little snapshot away. Hard back checking from HV71 was important. And now the little tip, and Mustakov's was stretched. I don't think he made the save. As it turned out, he didn't need to. Wow. Such good work against the wall. And it's back with Ratchuk. Oh, Ratchuk gives the puck away. Armstrong's hustling back. And the shot is taken on by Tadenby and gloved by Mustakovs. And the Steelers were nearly their own worst enemy there. Yeah,
Ratchuk just trying to do a little too much there. You know, sometimes you just got to move that puck. Try, you know, threw that one into traffic. It was a good neutral zone trapping from HV71, and it almost Armstrong did a great job getting back on that one to make it tough for them to finish off that play. But yeah, you have to have your head up, and you can't be making too many moves in the neutral zone there, or you're going to get punished.
Björklund. Forward for Desbiens to go after. Straight into the zone and straight back out by HV71. Mosienko tries a bounce pass off the wall. Didn't find its target of Schultz. A little tumble across the blue line by Reese, and it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, I think Desbiens is going to get a tripping penalty there. He just got his stick down on the ice and into the legs of one of the HV71 forwards, and he's going to get 2 minutes for that. I think the Steelers were trying to draw a penalty, trying to draw a retaliation on that, but HV71 players weren't biting. And you can see here, good speed from Reese coming through there, makes a nice little move, and Desbiens just gets caught out a little bit there. Gets beat basically and tried to poke check him, tried to knock the puck off his stick, but caught his legs at the same time. So an easy call for the referee. We'll see what happens on the power play here for HV71.
Desbiens in the box for the second time tonight. 1 for 2 on the power play so far, HV71. All coming from Tadenby in the 17th minute. Gaining the zone left wing side. Come back to the blue line. Moving around Almqvist. The shot comes in. It's blocked in front. It came off Fitzgerald before it got through to Mustakovs. Fitzgerald trying to tie the puck up in the corner. Almqvist switches it across to the far side. Phillips keeping a close eye on things. They'll try and work it down low, and the swift passing is superb, and it allows Thornburg to score and put HV71 back in front.
Well, that's a really nice power play goal from them. You know, they're playing a 1-3-1. Just quick little triangle there. You know, 2 quick little passes, and it's in the back of the net, and a little bit of movement, but it was the passing that beat the Steelers on that one. And if you can see, just a good puck movement. They don't throw the puck away, don't make a risky pass at all. It's just a quick pass. Watch, he draws the guy up a little bit. He draws that defenseman up from low and on the puck side, and that just gives an opportunity for that pass to be made and a quick shot in there. A nice power play goal from HV71. Again, quick passing. It's hard to defend that on your PK, and the Steelers really needed to collapse right down and cover, have all 4 guys right down there and just give up the point shot at worst. And but to give HV71 credit, they made a nice power play goal. It seems like the best part of their game is their power play, because they have 2 power play goals. Like you were saying, they had 1 before this one. And it's been the difference in the game for them.
2 for 3 on the power play. And the one that didn't score only ran for about 30 seconds. So the Sheffield Steelers have got to come from behind. They've done it once tonight. So the message couldn't be clearer for the Sheffield Steelers. They must stay out of the penalty box if they are going to be able to fight back in this game. And it's brought the home crowd to life once more. Nelson tried to get it to Björklund. Does eventually reach the stick of the Swede. Valdix tried the little drop pass, but HV71 were ready for it. And now here's a little bit of room. Breaking in, backhand attempt. And Mustakovs had got it covered as Anderson tried to sneak one in.
Actually, a nice try from Anderson there, because he faked the shot, went to his backhand from a bad angle and tried to sneak it by Mustakovs. You know, we're going to look at the goal here. You can see just a quick pass down low into the slot area. There's a, yeah, I mean, it's Fitzgerald is worried about the forward on the opposite side. And so the only way you can defend that is either the defenseman comes out from the opposite side and gives up the shot from the opposite dot, or the forward comes right down and takes that, and they give up, let the point shot in the middle allow that shot. So, well, yeah, the 1-3-1 is a very effective power play setup, and the Swedish teams are very good at it.
Long shot comes in. Mustakovs is in an awkward position. The Steelers need to get to this one, and they just about do. And now there could be an opportunity for 2-on-1 if they can get it across, and Armstrong couldn't quite. They had a spare man over. They'll get an icing call. They nearly had so much more as we get an unnecessary collision after the whistle.
Well, I think Anderson was just trying to get out of the way, and I'm not sure, is that Davy Phillips? I think Davy might have just thrown a little hit in there just to shake things up a little bit. Davy does like to play a physical game, likes to throw the occasional big hit, and I think he just decides, I'm going to finish this one off. I mean, he could have easily gotten a penalty there. Luckily for him, I think Anderson gets up quite quickly and doesn't try to milk it at all, and he's actually got a smile on his face. So give him a credit for not trying to make, he could have rolled around on the ice like some guys have done in the past and tried to make it look good, but he didn't, so we'll give him credit for that.
Only 17, Elias Anderson.
Yeah, he's got a good future ahead of him. He's a quality player.
He's draft eligible in 2017, and depending on where you get your pre-draft rankings from, he's projected to go somewhere in the middle of the first round. Long wrister again, saved by Mustakovs, and we'll have another power break.
Well, the key thing for the Steelers is not to give up another goal. You don't want to go down 3-1 here in the second period. They want to hang in there at 2-1 and take this into the third period, a goal down. They're in a good situation on the road. You always feel you have a good opportunity. Let's see if we could hear what Paul Thompson's saying on the bench there. Yeah, I didn't have that much to say. I think he's overall pretty happy with the second period of the Steelers. They played a good second period. I mean, and the game is, they've been solid overall in the game. They've given up 2 goals, but both power play goals against.
That's where we're getting success, eh? In the offensive zone, start getting pucks slow.
Well, he's absolutely right. I mean, you want to play down in the other team's end of the ice. You don't want to spend too much time in your end of the ice. So you want to get those pucks in. And I mentioned that in the first period where we noticed the Steelers were dumping the puck in rather than make a bad play at the opposition's blue line. And Swedes are very good at, breaking up the play and getting their forwards behind you. Part of their game plan for the Steelers has been, let's get pucks deep, let's not take any unnecessary chances or make some risky plays in the neutral zone, and they've stuck with that, and it's worked for them. And they have a lot of guys who can score in that Sheffield lineup, so if they hang around at 2-1, I still like their chances.
So play will restart in a few seconds' time with a face-off in the Steelers' own zone. Bengtsson up against Mosienko on this draw. And it's the Sheffield man who wins it. And we'll see if the Steelers are able to get those pucks deep as Paul Thompson wanted. Schultz in on Reese. HV71 across the line. Shoved out of the way is Sund. Steelers still digging at it. It's all very tight on these near side boards. Steelers will get it away and across the red line, but not much further. Mosienko sat down by the shoulder that came in from Bengtsson. Here's Debian. Puck just comes out of the zone. Well, what's it like for a player like Debian when you've given up a penalty and then the goal has been scored on your power play? What's that like for a player when you come back out? You're always trying extra hard to make amends?
Yeah, you always want to try to go back and get a goal and make something happen for your team. But what I liked about Debian there is his back check on that shift. He came back and broke up the play. So it obviously hasn't affected them. You know, what happens, you take a penalty, you get scored against us. It's just part of the game. You got to deal with it and go back out there and play some good shifts for your team. And but what I liked is his effort on the back check there. He did a great job just breaking up the play, and the Steelers were allowed to come out of the zone and not give up a scoring opportunity against.
Plenty of Steelers fans have made the trip, and plenty of Steelers family members and friends. Marcus Nielsen has been giving out the orange T-shirts to friends and family who've made the trip here tonight. I don't know if they've learned all the words to the Steelers songs just yet, but it's the home supporters who are making the noise at the moment as we enter the final 6 minutes of the second period here in Jonkoping. Phillips sent in deep. Ferrara will go chasing. Abbott. Moved on to Torngren. Sent it across, and the Steelers get in the passing lane and knock the puck away. But we've got a penalty coming against the Steelers here. Söderström is off to the bench for the extra skater. And we'll have a little bit of 6-on-5 for HV71. In the zone, backhand across, it's saved and then it's put in. It was blocked in front, they didn't need the power play. And it was Persson who put it in. He won the Champions League with Frölunda last year. 2-goal lead for his team here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, an easy finish for him, really. I think he had most of the net to shoot at, but he moved up the play well. And, you know, just read the play in front of him there. You could see he comes down, right down through the middle there, and then finishes that play off. So a good read from him. And I guess you can count it as another kind of power play for HV71, another power play goal, 6-on-5, and they've been very with that extra man. Thing is when you have you know you're going to get the whistle if the opposition touch the pucks. It allows you to jump into the play. I mean, you could jump everybody into the play and take that chance, and that's what Persson did in that play, and it paid off for him. Just a really good hockey sense from him on that goal. So the Steelers it's gonna be a bit tougher for them now because HV71 are picked up their game a little bit. They seem to be skating a little bit more. I think they've had a bit of reaction there from their coach when he you know sat down and started to scream a little bit. I don't know, the Steelers are going to get another penalty here against, I believe, for tripping, and they just taking a few penalties that's been hurting them. Nothing too serious, but it's a trip, and the referees are going to call it. It's just the quickness of HV71 which makes it tough on you defensively. So if you stop moving your feet for just that split second, that means your guy could get away from you, and then you get your stick, you lay your stick into the feet. See quickness there coming with the puck, and just a little, I don't think he was touched all that much, but if he goes down and the stick is there, the referee's going to call it.
So a penalty on Levi Nelson. The power play that's 2 for 3 will get its 4th chance of the night. Long shot comes in. It was looking to hit some traffic. And in the end, it went all the way through. The puck is out of the zone. The Sheffield Steelers get a little bit of respite.
Oh, this is a big PK for the Steelers. They need to kill this off. They don't want to go down 4-1. They're going to have to really do everything they can on this one to keep the puck out of the back of their net.
Take on the shot again. It hits a body in front. It didn't get through to Mustakovs. These are nervous times for the Steelers, and that blast goes way over the top from Lane. Armfist, Lane. Slapped across, it gets the tip, and Mustakovs does well to redirect his body. And get a pad on that one.
A really nice save from Mustakovs. I mean, he had to react quickly to that deflection, like a shot pass to the slot area, and Mustakovs made a great save.
Reese. Trying to shoot through traffic. Went wide of that far post. Brithen. Tadenby. Back out into the top of the crease and took a swing and a miss. He's bouncing around. The Steelers need to try and get this clear, and they do. Not very far, but across the blue line is far enough. Brithen again across to the far side. Final few seconds of power play ticking down. Nelson will be back out in a moment. There's still work for the Steelers to do. Nelson is back out and back into the play. Shot comes through and it's blocked up and out of play by Mustakovs. That one goes into protective netting. And the Steelers kill the penalty, and that'll be a huge relief.
Yeah, that's a big kill for the Steelers, and especially against a good power play like HV71. They move the puck around really well, really quick, always in good position. Really play well together on their power play. You can see that it's no one hangs on to the puck too long, and it's been giving the Steelers a bit of trouble, that quick puck movement. But saying that, they found a way to kill it off, and they're only down 2 goals here.
Bainton's carried it a long way, goes for the shot. Mustakovs makes the low stop. Steelers read that pass and got a stick on it, but they didn't get it out of the zone. Another shot that gets tipped just wide. Steelers avoid the offside. Sent in on goal by Bjorklund. It's a comfortable start for Söderström. Again, the Steelers get the puck in deep, but they need to go and make a line change. And HV71 are going to swap forwards as well, so the game slows down momentarily. Now the breakout can come. Phillips. Ratcher. Nelson. Driving hard, the Steelers have got opportunities here. Ratcher goes for the shot and he scored! Full commitment for the Steelers. The white shirts came flooding forward.
Great shift from Ratcher, because he makes the original pass out of the zone and then follows the play up the ice, creating that third wave, that 4-on-3 situation. You can see there's the pass from Ratchuk there. He doesn't stand around. He moves up the ice, and eventually he ends up getting the puck right there. You can see him comes down. Nice wrist shot from him in the back of the net. Great breakout from the Steelers. A great reaction after going down 3-1 from the Steelers. Nice wrist shot there. Might have got a little deflection there, fooled the goalie, but got it to the net, and that's what counts. So the Steelers are right back in this one. But great puck movement from the Steelers there. I don't even know if it did touch, or just puck seemed to knuckleball a little bit. But the key thing is it hit the back of the net. That's a really big goal for the Steelers back in this one. 3-2 scoreline.
Ratchuk from HV71 look for an instant response. Mustakovs made a low save. Phillips has got this one between his skates against the wall. He'd be happy for it to stay there. Backhanded out of the zone. Will not be called icing, but just slowed up enough. And Borgman with the outlet. Connor tries to get it away with a backhand, doesn't quite manage it. Sandberg plays it back. Reese. And that one didn't hit traffic on the way, and Mustakovs can hold.
Yeah, Mustakovs not giving up a rebound. Doing a great job for the Steelers, keeping them in this one. And, I mean, the key thing right now is the Steelers just get out of this period down a goal, and they'll be in great shape going into the third period.
That goal from Ratchet, the only true even-strength goal we've had. We've had 2 power play goals and a delayed penalty goal each. 5-on-5, the Steelers have very much been in this. Still defensive work to do for them late in this second period. Reese. Tries to switch it across, and it's an active stick from Schultz that knocks it down the ice. And again, he's in on the ended up. This is what Paul Thompson wants a team to do, doing it really well. Final 4 seconds of period, there might be a shooting chance. Dave Ben, oh, he did too long, at the wrister away. And the block could be made. It's across to the far side, the shot will come, it's tipped, and he just goes a fraction wide, and it would have counted. But it's a period that has seen the Sheffield Steelers score twice.
Well, you can see the Steelers gained a lot of confidence from that goal. They really started to pour it on in that last shift of the period, and we're feeling pretty good. Overall, I thought the first half of the period, I thought the Steelers were better, and then I thought HV71 came on pretty strong in the second half of the second period and started to skate a lot better, started to move the puck around a lot better offensively. But the Steelers got the goal, that second goal, which really turns things around for them and gives them a chance here going into the third period.
So the Sheffield Steelers are being largely outshot. It's only managed 10 shots all game, the Steelers, and HV71 approaching 30. But the Steelers have made the most of their chances. There haven't been many occasions when they've got the puck into the zone. They haven't been able to at least to get something on Soderstrom. They've made the most of their puck possession.
They have, and they've made it tough on Soderstrom also because they've gotten traffic in front of him on those shots that ended up hitting the back of the net. So credit to them for driving to the net, creating traffic, creating havoc, and making it tough on the goalie to see those shots coming in. Because on the rat check shot, I don't even know if he saw that. It seemed to me like he was screened slightly on the shot. The puck did come in a bit funny, almost a knuckleball kind of shot that ended up in the back of the net. But I mean, it doesn't really matter the shots in the end. It's what the score line is, and yes, 30 shots to 10 is a big difference. But a lot of the shots I found from HV71 in the first two periods were from out, a distance and from the outside. And I mean, you'll give up those shots all game. It helps your goalie if you could just protect the middle. And with a quality goalie like Mustakov's there, he's going to make those saves. So just a good job from the Steelers protecting the middle of the ice. And yes, they've given up 30 shots, but the score is only 3-2. And it's so far it's a good performance from the Steelers. I'm sure they'll be very happy with those first two periods overall. And all it takes is one little bounce here, and can really put the pressure on HV71, who right now, they're under pressure to finish off this game. I mean, they're like you were saying, the odds are a lot more in their favor to get the result tonight. So let's hope the Steelers have a little bit left in the tank here for the third period.
If the Steelers are able to get this game tied, overtime will be a possibility. Penalties, if it's still tied at the end of 5 minutes, there will be a winner here tonight, one way or the other. But it's so important for the Steelers that even if they can't get the game tied or indeed get in the lead, they keep the score as close as possible. Goal difference and head-to-head meetings can play a crucial part in deciding which two teams of the three in Group P will progress to the knockout stages. It would be a great achievement for the Steelers if they were able to do that. But with two good periods of work here in Jonkoping, they've given themselves a chance. The opening game in this group is back underway in the third period. We are 5-on-5 as we restart. And that puck has been deflected out of play. Up into the netting. A few fans still making their way back into the seats. And it was an important goal from the Steelers, not just to narrow the deficit, but also to take the crowd out of it. They've been building and building and getting louder and louder, particularly with that third goal. Listen, now it's flat.
Yeah, I mean, in that second period, HV71 really poured it on in the second half of that period, really started to gain a lot of confidence, really started to play well. And all of a sudden they gave up that goal, and you're right, it's like the fans and everybody, they just all deflated all of a sudden, and it's carried on into the third period here. So that's good for the Steelers. They've got the crowd out of the game.
Armstrong right through the middle, puck on the backhand, and he draws the save up high from Soderstrom.
Well, Armstrong looks like a quality player from what I've seen of him in this game up to this point, and he's got some good size, he's strong on the puck. And he seems to read the game well, driving hard through the middle. That's what you like to see from your guys, and he's going to be a good player in the Elite League this year.
Scored a goal in pre-season against Aalborg. He scored again tonight. Kind of across to the far side. Looking for Björklund. Nelson comes in on the forecheck. The puck passed beyond him. He might reach this one. Going up against Hansen. Again, Björklund is lending his support. Is that going to be a penalty? Indeed it is. The Steelers realised they were in trouble there. There was a 2-on-1 looming. And Dowd had to take one for the team.
Yeah, another little hook or trip from the Steelers, and the penalties have cost them so far in the game. You can see they get beat one-on-one. I mean, it happened on their previous penalty. I think it was also one of those where they got beat and the stick just stayed there. It's hard to just move your stick. When you're beaten like that, it's hard to move your stick completely out of the way and just let the guy go. Your natural reaction is to try to put something in front of him to slow him down, and usually ends up being a trip. And so Dowd goes off for 2 minutes. But another big kill for the Steelers, because HV71 have been very, very effective on their power play in this game. Very good at moving the puck. They play well as a unit, and they really move it around quick.
They're 2 for 4 on the power play. They've also scored on a delayed penalty, 6 on 5. 5 on 4 here at the moment in favour of the team in blue, HV71. Shot from Reese is high. Wasn't able to keep that in the zone, so the Steelers will just get a moment while HV71 retreat and cancel the offside. Brithen. And get it back to Tadenby. The Steelers clear it away. Cross corner dump. Looking to get onto Thornburg. Still plenty of time for HV71 on this man advantage, but Steelers getting sticks in the way. They're making life awkward, but they don't get the puck out of the zone on this occasion. It could prove costly. Here's Abbott. Almqvist goes for the shot. It took a couple of nicks on the way through and went just wide of Mustakov's goal. Gets it back for another go, does Almqvist. It's now the right time for the shot. Phillips laid down to try and block it, then gets his stick in the way of that pass. Steelers under terrible pressure at the moment. They really need a clearance, and they'll get one. And that should just about do it for this power play.
Well, overall, a good job from the Steelers, especially in that last part of the power play. HV71 were in a good position to get some shots up, but the Steelers found a way to get in front of those shots and block them.
We are now back to 5-on-5 hockey. Dowd's penalty successfully killed. And the Steelers are keeping themselves within touching distance in this game. A 1-goal lead is never a safe thing in the third period of a hockey game. The Steelers still find themselves stuck in their own defensive zone. Pass takes a deflection. It works out nicely for Björklund. He'll try and carry it away, gain the red line and send it in deep. And anytime you can get the keeper to cover up and get an offensive zone face-off, it's an effective play.
Yeah, that's why you want to drive to the net, then stop it, and then not turn away, not allow the goalie an opportunity to move the puck and create a face-off. You know, as we know, offensive zone face-offs can at times end up in the back of the net with a goal, and the Steelers have some good face-off men in their lineup. I mean, they're obviously, I mean, as long as they keep this score line, I think the Steelers are in great shape. Like you were saying, even if they get out without the win in this, they go home and win by a couple of goals, and the other results kind of go their way a little bit. Next thing you know, they're in the next round. So, I mean, the key thing for them is just play a smart third.
Here's a real scramble. Here's an equalizing goal.
And there's Dowd. I mean, Dowd has got great hands, and he'll pick up any puck in and around the net and bang that in the back of the net if you give him an opportunity. He's such a great goal scorer. And it came from that face-off. You know, we were just talking about face-offs, and you mentioned it, I mentioned it. Next thing you know, it's in the back of the net, and here we are, 3-3. And let me tell you, HV71 right now are going to be scratching their heads because they're going to be under so much pressure. The defenseman comes down the wall there and takes that wrist shot to the net. And it's a set face-off, D down the wall. And just by throwing the puck at the net and that kind of face-off sometimes it results in a second opportunity. And the right man got his stick on that puck on the rebound out. And we know how good he shoots the puck and how well he finishes. This is really exciting here, 3-3.
Certainly with that backhand, he scored so many goals that way. And now he's trying to turn provider. Oh, he tried to play the pass back, and it was a sliding block. An important one it was, too.
I would have liked to seen him shoot that. He's got such a great shot, and especially after scoring a goal, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. I thought for a second he was just going to fire that one.
Scored for the Steelers in the Champions League last season. He's opened his account for this season as well. 3-3 here in Jonkoping. Steelers were 66-1 against to win this game. 40-1 against to take it to overtime. On the edge of your seat if you've had a pound or two on either of those results. What can HV71 offer by way of a response? It's Persson who'll carry it out. Takes on the shot, and Mustakov's way out of his crease to meet that one.
Yeah, good solid saves there. Person's already got a goal in the game. You can see him jumping up into the play, trying to make something happen for his team. But he didn't really have anybody to give the puck to once he crossed the blue lane. The only opportunity he had was to shoot it. But there you can see Dow there goes to the net, gets that up in the net. I mean, like I said, he's got great hands. He's one of these guys who you give him half an opportunity down low in and around that paint area of the goal where the goalie stands. He's going to finish it off. And a big goal for the Steelers early in the third.
Backhand shot that Mustakov saves as HV71 tried to make something happen straight from the face-off. Desbiens hit from behind. Officials happy with that. Steelers bench not so much. Tadenby. Dropped off to Hansen. Crashes against the end boards. Schultz doing work in the corner. Turned over, but the Steelers players crowd around. There was no way that pass was getting through to Anderson. Mustakovs comes out and gets involved. And that's going to be a penalty.
Well, actually, it was a smart penalty to take because I think had Mustakovs not hooked Tadenby there, I think he would have wrapped that around in the back of the net. So if that is the call there. It's actually a smart penalty to take. I'm not going to criticize him for that because he knows he's beat if he doesn't stop. I mean, this guy's got great hands. He's a great scorer, and he knows it. So that's why he gets his smart play from Mustakovs. Yes, it's a penalty against, but he knows he's going to get beat on the wraparound. So you got to do what you got to do sometimes out there. And then that time he took a penalty for the team.
Steelers have killed one penalty already in this period. They'll be on the back foot again. As HV71 go on the power play for the 6th time tonight. Bjorklund off the boards and all the way down. Phillips chasing hard. Here's Albrandt. Switched across to the far side. Nothing going on for Thornburg. Almqvist, big shot, and it crashes into bodies in front. Long shot comes through. Save is made by Mustakovs. He needs a little bit of help, and his defensemen provide it.
Yeah, good job clearing that. And you can see there, just like I was saying, a quick wrist shot sometimes from the point on that power play can be very, very effective. And but you're absolutely right. A good clearance from the Sheffield defenseman there, helping out their goalie.
Need to bide some time while the rest of the team complete the line change for HV71. Moving it across, and the one-timer comes in, and it's blocked in front. Steelers have got in the way of a lot of shots tonight. The commitment has been total.
Well, when
just
you're
leaving it behind him momentarily.
When you're killing as many penalties as they have in this game, you got to block some shots.
Another partial block. He's going to need another one. Late in the power play, have HV71 got something up their sleeve? Shot comes through again. It hits traffic. And Davien will just blast it in. It's a shot on target. And Söderström had to turn it to the corner. Penalty is over. And the Sheffield Steelers will be pleased with their 2 penalty kills so far in this third period. They won't want to have to go short-handed again. But it doesn't get out of the zone. It should do now. Saric just settles things down. Rod Saric out of retirement to help the Sheffield Steelers out. Be the extra import. An extra player available on the blue line for Paul Thompson. What his future will be with the Steelers after the Champions Hockey League remains to be decided. Valdix. Nelson. David Phillips takes the shot on. It gets blocked. Backhand attempt. That gets blocked as well. It hit Persson on the shin. This line looking really dangerous for the Steelers. Dow. A lot of wood chopping going on in the corner. Steelers won't mind when the puck's at this end of the ice. Nelson and Dowd tenacious, but it's squirted out to the far side, and Bengtsson. Another shift that the Steelers will be able to put in the positive column. Here's Lestam, his first shift of the night. Phillips kicks it back. And now the Steelers will transition across the red line, across the blue line. It's good skating from Nielsen. Thrown towards the crease, and it's Bjorklund who was jabbing at it. And it's covered by Söderström.
Well, a good job just getting the puck to the net. If you don't have a play sometimes, shoot it in there. And the good thing for the Steelers is they're aggressively driving to the net on every play. They're always sending someone to the net. And they're hunting for those rebounds, and that's how you get your goals, by driving to the net. And you could see he's, the coach again here for HV71 is, he's really having words with his team, because he knows they're not playing their best game here, and he's not overly impressed with the performance of his team. Yeah, he's really pushing them. You can see. I wish I could translate what he was saying for you, but. Jonathan, I don't know if your Swedish is better than mine, but good luck with that.
Well, it certainly seemed more animated than the conversation he was having during the previous power breaks. And these are 70-second timeouts that occur twice a period in the Champions League. And again, Nielsen just sending the puck into the crease and hit a defenseman's skate, and Bjorklund was looking for any loose pieces. And so the Steelers, when they've got the puck in the offensive zone, they've been able to make things happen.
Well, you're absolutely right. When they put the defense of HV71 under pressure, they have coughed the puck up a little bit. They've been a little bit nervous back there at times.
10 minutes remaining in this third period.
Well, you don't got to be careful. You don't want to take a silly penalty. Hitting somebody late, because the referees will call that straight away. So I don't think it. I think he looked like he stumbled a bit more into the guy than anything else. But got to be a little bit careful, because the referees have been making the calls pretty easily tonight. I said they've done a good game overall. The penalties I've seen have been pretty much penalties. But you don't want to take a bad penalty in the dying moments of a game in the third period in a close game like this.
It does seem to be a recurring theme with British teams playing in Europe. We saw it with the Steelers last year, taking a lot of penalties. We saw it with the Blaze in the Continental Cup, taking a lot, and also Great Britain. It does seem to be an issue for British teams playing abroad sometimes, that they perhaps don't adapt to the officiating as well as they might.
It's a different game. You're playing a quicker game and a more skilled game. You can see Sheffield are going to take another penalty here.
Mustakos makes the save, and the Steelers get a stick to it first as it came out into the slot.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to get any favors from the referees, that's for sure. And when you're playing against a team with speed and skill, it's always harder to play against them defensively. So you get caught out sometimes with hooks and holes, and the referees, they call all that. I mean, when I think back to my playing days, like, I could hook you and hole you for like the whole game and it'd never be called. But I mean, it must be a luxury for the skilled players to play with officiating like this. I mean, that's barely a hole there. I mean, that's probably the weakest call of the night. And in a close game like that, you don't want to see those cheap penalties called. But overall, the officiating's been good. But that one there, not too sure about that.
Another power play for the Sheffield Steelers to defend. HV71 looking to regain the lead. And they do just that. The shot from Reese. And Mustakovs didn't see it.
Yeah, nice wrist shot from Reese. You know, just picked the corner there with some traffic in front. And this is where the Steelers have done a good job overall protecting the front of the net. And that time they just couldn't box out enough to give Mustakovs a chance of seeing that one. But it was a nice setup play. They take the puck low, and then you know, they get it back up high. Sheffield collapsing down as much as they can to take away the low pass, but then that's just a brilliant wrist shot there, and another goal from a defenseman for HV71. Beautiful wrist shot. Goalie's got no chance. I think that they would like to see that again there, but it looked like it went up over his shoulder almost there. So a good backhand pass out too. Yeah, a good shot up and over the goalie. He's got no chance. He doesn't see it. Those rising wrist shots are deadly shots from the slot area. Doesn't matter if you're a forward or defenseman. If you can put it up there, you'll score a lot of goals.
Dylan Reese, the lone American on this HV71 roster. 78 games played with a few different teams in the NHL. And he's put his team back in front. What can the Steelers offer by way of a response? Third power play goal of the game for HV71.
Yeah, and I mean, it came from another power play goal. Their power play has been excellent, but I thought it was a bit of a cheap call on that one. And don't like to criticize the referees too much because they got to make a split-second call, and we get to look at it on the replay and everything. But overall, their officiating's been very good, but that last call was a bit of a questionable one for me. I don't know how you felt about that one.
Bengtson. Saric in there with him. Thornburg. Bengtson, who takes over, trying to feed it back to Lestan. Still HV71 possession. Tried to whip it goalwards, but Steelers' legs in the way. That goal has brought the Swedish supporters back to life once more. They're the ones making the noise inside the Kinnarps Arena at the moment. Oh, moving in on the far side and shooting off target. That was a big chance that's come and gone. Still the Steelers on the back foot. Puck drops on the near side for Almqvist. Steelers continuing to be physical, but it's HV71 who continue to be in possession of the puck. Opportunity on the backhand, and it's blocked by Phillips in front of Mustakovs. Pressure is relentless at the moment. And another important block. This one comes off Dowd.
Well, it was a really important block because the Steelers were tired on that shift. It was a long shift in their end of the ice. They were running around a little bit, and they needed to get a change. And fortunately for them, they were able to clear the zone there with a good block.
The zone, it's sent back in on the delayed offside. HV71 get that cleared out and straight back in. And Mustakovs makes a great save as the pass was played out from behind the goal. He stayed with that one all the way. It's cost the Steelers icing as they send it down.
I tell you, that's a big save at a 4-3 score line. Oh, pass comes out. You can see takes the puck low, backhand pass out, and really good save for Mustakovs there. I mean, that's a game save for me. Like, that's kind of save that can win you the game. And if you see that opportunity there, right there from HV71, they kept their third forward high and then activated them wide, and that's how they created that open lane to them on the 5-on-5 in the offensive zone.
Ferrara couldn't get the puck through to Phillips. Being physical in the corner. Inside the final 6 minutes of this game. Steelers continue to apply the pressure. Forechecking in the offensive zone and the neutral zone continues to be hard. Fitzgerald kicks the puck down the ice. The Steelers nudge it across the blue line. And now a burst of speed. This could be an opportunity. Oh, and out of the crease to play the puck was Söderström. And in the end, he didn't really get much on it, but it just slipped wide of the goal and behind. And he averted disaster. It was nearly a nasty moment as the Steelers were threatening to create something on the transition. Fretter thought about taking the shot on. Instead, he sends it in behind where the Steelers forecheckers can go and do their work. This one will be an easier out for HV71. Mustakovs for O'Connor. The Steelers players skate into each other, but Saric is there to clear things up. Davien. Abbott is back doing work in his own zone. Looking from all the way around the boards. It's physical from Phillips. Still in behind his person. Oh, another back post. HV71 have got the goal through Albrandt. Swift and decisive.
Yeah, a bit of lack of coverage there. I mean, I seem to get caught out a little bit, standing around a little bit on that one. Pass across. And just a nice finish there. And Mustakovs doesn't have much of a chance, but you can see here just good job there getting the puck out of the zone and that pass across. And Mustakovs doesn't have much of a chance, but that happened quick, and that's what happens when you have speed. You can make things happen quick. Good little finish there. Nice pass across. But the key play was chipping it off the boards and getting it out under pressure. And I don't think the Steelers needed to overcommit there on the wall. I think it was their defenseman pinched down there and didn't really need to do that at that time, and which allowed a bit of an odd man rush. Made a really nice pass on that and a great finish. So quality goal from them. Did all the right things to get that 2-goal lead, and it was a big goal because they were still under pressure, and the Steelers all it took was one shot to tie the game up again. Now HV71 has a little bit of breathing room, but the Steelers have been able to answer back. You know, they were down 3-1. They came back with a big goal, so let's hope they can find another one here.
Referee not happy with how that face-off was taken. So we'll reconvene and go again. Even strength goal, making it 5-3 from Per Albrandt. Again, remember that goal difference and head-to-head results between the two teams can be so important in this competition, with two teams going through out of 3. The Steelers will want to make sure it finishes no worse than a 2-goal differential. HV71 are sniffing something else. Sent to the side of the goal. Mustakovs was down waiting. Still the pressure builds, sent towards goal. They were trying to redirect it. Steelers caught out by an awkward bounce off the balls. That wasn't helpful for Nelson. Now here's an opportunity. Oh, and swinging and missing over the top of it. And the Steelers caught a little break.
Yeah, they did catch a break there, because I think if he makes contact, that's in the back of the net again. And credit to HV71, because they're moving the puck really well in the transition at the moment and making things happen quickly against the Steelers and making it tough on the Steelers.
It was just sat on the net for a moment. The Steelers tried to keep it alive, and Mustakovs again is out to make another sharp save. And you can see the frustration for Lias Anderson. And finally get the second power break of the period.
Yeah, the Steelers seem to be feeling it right now a little bit. The legs seem to be slowing down a little bit. I know they're down a couple of goals, but could be running out a little bit of energy. Like, you know, we've talked about, it's only their second game of the season, so it is possible there's a little fatigue there. Paul Thompson looks like he's is it a break, did you say, or is it
yeah, this is the 70-second power break.
Yeah, the power break there, which is always good for the coaches, because it gives them a chance to talk tactics a little bit and try to create an opportunity for their team. Well, trying to set a little something up to try to get a goal back. Even from a defensive zone face-off, sometimes, you know, you can blow the zones, you know, have a set play that your team knows about. You just want to remind them to try it and see if you can create a goal from it. Got to keep trying. I mean, there's still 2:26 left on the clock. Lots of time for a couple of goals, you know. So just nice to see the coach, Paul Thompson, taking the time to try something.
So can the Steelers get the puck? Thompson's whiteboard plan into action. Pressure on Franson at the moment. Steelers don't get it out of the zone. Person blocked it on the blue line. And the long pass looking for Armstrong. He didn't get a tip, so it will be icing as we enter the final 2 minutes of this game.
Well, I think the Steelers will try to get behind HV71 and create a breakaway pass of some kind up through the middle of the ice. Always a good option to try to get a scoring opportunity. And, you know, obviously you think about activating your defensemen up the ice quickly to try to get the next wave of offense coming in with support, and even off a face-off, trying a long pass like that, just trying to get behind a defenseman. So there's a lot of things you can do late in the game to try to create some offense.
Söderström to Borgman. Thornburg. Steelers trying to set up some late drama here. Final 90 seconds, sent in on goal. And Söderström makes the stop. And Fitzgerald wants to get involved.
Well, Fitzgerald, I don't think there's anybody in HV71's lineup want to mess with him. I think his reputation is well known, and Reese certainly doesn't want to drop the gloves there. Fitzgerald just going hard to the net, jumping into the play, trying to find a rebound goal of some sort.
Ah, fuck it, I'm going to pull the goalie. I'm going to pull the goalie. Dowdy, get out there with him.
Oh, looks like Paul Thompson's going to pull the goalie and set up a play here. Down 2 goals. Why not? I mean, positive.
We win the puck back to our left D. Okay, D, you come in. We bossy. You take him to the back post, Dowdy. You go in front. Listen to me. When this guy comes, he comes across here. This D's coming hard through the middle. Senneman's coming back out, okay? Dowdy, actually, you come back out for that guy and then go back in, all right? So you come back out. So down the wall, Desi, take him here. Right shot, D-man through. Benny throwing pucks into that area here.
So obviously a set play there from Paul Thompson. I mean, I don't know if he wants us to know all his tactics there with the upcoming season ahead, but
he may not want us to hear all the expletives.
Yeah, well, you know, so we're not supposed to hear those things. Just a bit of passion there on the bench, but they got something set up here. I like the fact that rather than just be happy with a 2-goal differential loss, they're trying to win this game.
So what can the Steelers do? 6 on 5. They have the puck behind the HV71 goal. This one will take a deflection, gloved out of the air. Now they've all got to hurry back. Steelers do well to get the puck on their own blue line. Tipped into the zone. This is Persson. Around the boards, blocked by Dowd. Sent towards goal. Never reached it as far as Soderstrom. Dowd tripped up by his own man. Tried the little wraparound. Oh, and Schultz found it on his stick. Couldn't get a quality shot away. Time is ticking away from the Steelers. And they've given this one almighty effort. And they're not done yet. Dowd goes for the shot. The save is made. Soderstrom thought he'd held it, but wasn't the case. And now it's a question of how ambitious HV71 want to be with Mustakov's goal completely unguarded. He's on the bench. O'Connor. Steelers will gain the zone one final time. And it'll be cleared away by Reese one final time. And time will expire before the puck can be sent towards the empty net. It's not to be for the Sheffield Steelers, but they have put up one fantastic effort and scored 3 goals on the road against SHL opposition. But it is HV71 who win this game by 5 goals to 3.
Well, a good effort from the Steelers, and they were in the game, well, you know, almost to the end there. Again, down a couple of goals. I should say you're still in the game. And I like the fact they pulled the goalie and weren't satisfied with a 5-3 loss. I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to think, well, we'll go home and we'll beat them by 3 goals. That'd be a difficult thing to do against HV71. So I can see why Paul Thompson pulled the goalie. Maybe that 1 goal, you know, he might not have pulled the goalie. But with 2 down 2, I can't blame him really for trying to get a goal back there. And it was a good effort because in that last shift, I mean, they did get the puck out in front and they created some half opportunities. But overall, a good performance from the Steelers. Take a lot of positives out of the game. I thought, for example, like Armstrong, I thought was really solid, played a really good game for the Steelers. And Mustakov has showed that he's a quality goalie. Looked really good. Looked very calm and relaxed in there. Yeah, he gave up 5 goals, I think, in the end. But let's be honest. I mean, a lot of those were power play goals. There wasn't a lot of 5-on-5 goals there. So overall, there'll be a lot of positives for Paul Thompson to take out of this game.
A game of back and forth scoring that the Steelers came from 2 goals behind to tie in the early stages of the 3rd period has ended up with a 5-3 win for the boys in blue, HV71. These 2 teams will meet again, but the next stop for the Sheffield Steelers is Salzburg on Saturday. Join us at 6:30 for that game. Red Bull Salzburg against the Sheffield Steelers on match day 2 in Group P of the Champions Hockey League. Thank you for watching this game with us tonight. On behalf of Paul Adey, this is Jonathan Fernley saying good night.